Hello, everybody. Dang, these two stocks are flying. And now, make sure defense. Unbelievable. I can't even show up to the stream, with peace. Right away, straight away, violence. Ah, unbelievable. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Hello, hello. Yeah, these two are flying. TELO and WAI. They're both hitting the VWAMs there though, so a little bit of resistance. Resistance. The resistance. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Almost the weekend. It is almost the weekend, yeah. Crazy, huh, Dan? Right? If you were holding puts, destroyed. Holding calls, destroyed. The only people that win from stuff like that, people with covered calls and cash secured puts, which funny enough, that's the only way we said was to play it. That's the safest way. Yeah, these days when you play NVDA, it's just like unless something crazy happens, which we don't expect it to happen, um, not gonna happen. Yeah, NVIDIA is just too nice, just too nice. CWD, we like this one as a momentum stock. These guys dropped that news about creating a link treasury, right? So this one's holding up quite well. 290 support, 325 resistance, supply zone. Exactly, virus. Exactly. Like you either need a lot of time on your call, so you just need to go the the criminal way, Yeah, that's it. Ajun, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I missed everybody at the top, but good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Hello, hello. Yeah, the Jericho way. That's the way to do it. Good morning, Ahmad. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, V. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, zero DTE? No, for sure destroyed if you're holding anything like that. LGHL again, we like this one. This was beautiful, by the way. This is an example of what we've talked about in Discord, right? So if you haven't watched that video that says how to play pre-market stocks, please watch the video. Please watch the video, right? Please. If you haven't watched the video, watch the video because this is perfect. This is easy monies, right? Pump dip boom skis, right? But it's the way that it dips and recovers. So yeah, really nice. LGHL is dipping now, so let's see if we can maybe dip and play with 240 or play with the 200 EMA. But we have 6 minutes, 5 minutes to go, so we shall see. STSS had some nice candles earlier, but now it's kind of going sideways. Still holding that 200 EMA, which is fine, right? So one of these names will have to break out, and then obviously we have names like TELO and WAI, right? So they're both failing at supply zones and at the VWAPs. So we'll see if they can break out at the open as well. So for the most part, like those are the names I like into the open. We have like Wheeler looks interesting too, but I just have it on here just because. Where do you find the video? It's in the channel you were supposed to watch, right? The New Trade Education channel has this video in it. Please watch that video, please, right? Because pre-market can be quite confusing with so many names and so many headlines and so many this, so many that, right? Please watch that video. Alrighty. So the video, I also posted the video earlier today I posted a few minutes ago actually. Like if you go back to Stock General, I posted it at 9:06 Eastern time. So how to play pre-market stocks, right? And we looked at two examples in that video. Um, so please, pretty please, watch that. Alrighty, because when you watch that video, you're like, oh dang, this was nice, right? You get in and you get out, right? You can clearly see the resistance at the top there, 280. So we keep hitting that level and not closing above. My line is a little bit lower, yeah. So 280. Good morning, Vena. Good morning. Good morning. For the long weekend, yes, absolutely. CWD still looks like the best name for now. Um, but it also is going to need to break out, right? We keep going back and forth for now. That 290 is nice, good demand zone, but then you have that supply zone right above, right? So it's going to need to. Ryan, it's a short video. It's 16 minutes long. Yeah, please watch the video. Lion, I know, right? Something's going to need to break out though, right? So everything just seems to want to be going range bound for now. So we'll see. STSS is also kind of going sideways there. TELO is looking like it wants to break out, right? 41% pushing above the VWAP. So that isn't too bad, right? Yeah, TELO is looking good there. The high for TELO was a lot higher, so maybe that thing wants to do some nice things. Again, you're still kind of sitting in a supply zone up there though, right around the VWAP. So this is one of those where it's better to wait for the market to open and then go from there. Because the resistance is right there. Patello on the left hand side, right? And then WAI, as good as this one looks as well, you're sitting at resistance. And then Nvidia, guys, Nvidia is down 70 cents, right? Like this thing was down 4% when earnings came out, and now it's down, less than one, less than half, right? So pretty nice recovery. The S&P is going back to almost flat, but still green for the day. So quite a nice recovery from all of these names. You know what I like the most is the markets dipped aggressively yesterday, and then Bitcoin was like, who? What happening? I don't know what's happening. I don't see it. That was nice to see. It's nice to see Bitcoin not just blindly follow the markets because it does that way too much already. Here we go, guys. 50 seconds and the market's open. Can you look at TNFA if it's curling about to get to your computer? Patrick, get rid of that rubbish. TNFA announced that they're going to do a split, right? So take a look at the headline in Discord and make your decisions accordingly to get out. Unless you're wanting to scalp it because maybe the shorts are covering, but yeah, I don't really think the shorts are. So we're gonna focus on CWD for now into the open, and then let's see how the other names perform already. Again, this one looks okay too, but maybe we go back and retest that 200 EMA. STSS looks like it's holding the 200 EMA. TELO is obviously failing at that, resistance, $2.12, right? So we need to break above that. Cool, cool. And then CWD is like, hey, I'm the one. Now that you said that, Lion, there isn't gonna be a curse today, is it? Here we go. So we're retesting. Ooh, damn! Oh my days! That thing said, Lion, hello. Are you sure you wanna? Are you sure you wanna go that? Are you sure you wanna do that today? Are you sure? Ah, damn. Again, 290 was a good spot though, right? To get in and sell, right? So, yep. Right. So type yes in the chat if you're holding CWD. Make sure you move your stop loss up though, right? Because this is that first candle. This is the first candle, very common, and then all of a sudden we're going back down for the retest, right? So be very careful, please, pretty please. But yeah, type yes in the chat if you're holding CWD. How to play Lonel, you can't find it. Go back to again 9:06 a.m. this morning in Stock General, or go to the trading new trader education section in Discord. It's in there. You can maybe watch that this weekend or after or later today, right? STSS, nice little pop there off that 200 EMA, so that's not too bad, right? LGHL, no curl yet, so maybe at some point that thing will curl, right? But this is the concern. This is why we always warn, like, hey guys, be careful at the open, right? Because as exciting as these candles look, right? As exciting as these candles look, these levels are always still a problem at the open, even if we aggressively break above them, the S&P is popping there. Ooh, look at NVIDIA, guys. Look at this. Look at this. NVIDIA's green. And taking the S&P with it. It might still be really early as well. Like everything reacts at the open, right? That's the downside to market open is everything reacts in a good way, a bad way. There's always a reaction. So that's why you want to make decisions at the open, right? Because I bet you if you sold this thing closer to 350, you're pretty happy about it, right? Better than 320. But for now, this is still looking like the best name in the market, right? It has been. So let's see if we can start closing about 325 and then pushing. Close and push, close and push. That was a good demand zone, though. It was a good demand zone. Uh, okay, here we go. We're back to $3.30. So that is looking better. Mm. Yeah. THAR is moving. Yeah, LTRX is also popping there a little bit. Same thing with AQB. Right, so a few names popping here and there. To $10, Jay, that would be nice. I want to see these candles keep closing about 325. I also want to see a higher low, right? So just give us something. Some higher lows, high hellos. Look at that TELO. Look at that perfect resistance, right? Same thing with WAI. So pushing into the open into resistance is not a good thing, right? And then slap back to the bottom of the range. So if you're watching this, maybe watch closer to $1.85, right? See if you can stay above that for TELO. Alrighty, and then for WAI, maybe watch closer to 19.50 to 20 cents. See if we can start consolidating and curling off that level, and then go from there. Cool, 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 cool. You can see all those wicks on CWD, man. So I think that's why we want to see somewhat of a dip at some point, and then just a higher low, at some point. At some point. THAR, Rob. Golden GDHG is halted up. Halted up. You guys see why we don't trust these candles at the open? You see why, right? Until you're like a few minutes in, and they're giving you higher lows and consolidating and blah blah blah, right? Look at that, right? We just came from like that high supply zone closer to 350 back to 310, right? This is why we always say, hey, like don't rush at the open. Don't get too excited, right? If you have gains, look at that. Consider taking those gains, right? Look at that. We're all the way back into the green zone again. Look at that. We're below $3 now, right? So as exciting as these candles look, that's why we always say, hey, be careful, right? I mean, we are coming back into a beautiful zone, right? We've been holding this level since early pre-market, well, coming into the open, right? So let's hope we can stay above it and then, actually start curling and then go from there. Alrighty, alrighty. THAR. That is a nice push, isn't it? Nothing too crazy, like 25%, but still a nice pop above $6 though. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And then AQB is pushing for brand new highs of the day as well. Um, and look at this. Even SPY you can't trust. Even NVDA you can't trust. Right? If you can't trust NVIDIA and SPY at the open, like what can you trust at the open, guys? Right? So be very careful when you make decisions like right away at the open, because you can end up getting antat. Right? You're like, oh my goodness, we're pumping, we're going, let's go. And then boom skis, new lows of the day. Right? What can you trust? That's true. That's true, Tony. Whenever you're add me to Discord and moving on. Yeah, so CWD again, hopefully we can stay above that demand zone at the bottom, right? LGHL is still dipping to that 200 EMA, so maybe that's the spot, that it can finally start to consolidate and curl. So we're going to pay attention to the bottom of the range there. And yeah, oui, oui. Yep. Trust nothing at the open, guys. Trust nothing at the open. AQB. Trust nothing at the open. Well, except for the ones that are not actually flying, right? Sometimes when a name is moving up slow and steady like this, it can be a really good thing. So there goes AQB with a nice push. This is actually quite nice, right? So $1.15 coming here for resistance. September. Yeah, that's a nice push for AQB. Yeah, look at CWD, right? Like still no signs of consolidation yet, just dropping, right? So yeah, we'll see if that thing can consolidate somewhere. This one definitely isn't done, but it might be one of those names, that the frustrating stock of the day. And then here comes the 200 EMA for LGHL. Kind of don't like the way that we've got there, but let's see if it consolidates. Ray is halted up, and then again AQB. Right, so $1.50 resistance here in that supply zone. CWD again, this one's going to be frustrating because it's not going to give up. It's not going to be done. And it technically is still holding that 290 support, right? So you can see how we're just consolidating at, well, not really. I don't know if we can call that consolidating, but it's holding the bottom of the range, right? And here we go back to 305. CHR, yeah. We hit one of those lines and came back down a bit. Here we go again. Here we go again. Can we just have a simple stock today, Just simple. We're not really asking for too much, Just asking for simple. Just give us a base. And then let's fly up that base, Can you do that, CWD? There you go. MB? Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, LG, like I said, I don't like the way that we came to the 200 EMA and it's not really consolidating yet, right? So if it's just gonna keep dipping below the 200, this is not a touch, right? It's just gonna dip below. That is not a touch. TELO is not consolidating. TELO is just going lower and lower, right? So again, consolidation is really important because it confirms that you're actually finding a base, right? So for now, you can see how we're just getting there and we're just lower highs and lower lows. This is not a touch. That's a knife, right? So compare this, guys. Compare so Arjun, especially for you, right? Compare this right there. This is what you call consolidation, right? And then compared to this, there's no candles holding anything, right? It's just low, 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 right? So this is what you want to see, right? To confirm that, hey, like, okay, maybe there's something here, right? Whereas this is just you're kind of gambling there because it's just breaking below, right? Which is annoying. Yeah, there you go. Mm-mm-mm. And then same thing for LGHL, right? There's nothing there. Like there's just nothing here. We can like it all we want. It doesn't really matter though, does it? No. So if it's gonna keep dropping like that, no go, no thank you, no thank you. It looks like yeah, so 1950 and 20 cents both. That range is holding for WAI at least, right? And then CWD is just playing games here in that demand zone. OPAD with a bit of a pop. A bit of a pop. For some reason, we still like CWD though, just because it's holding the bottom of the range, and this thing did really well early on. But we're gonna need some breakouts here though. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, stocks. Come on now, give us something. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, stonks. Yeah, so OPAD and PTNM with a bit of a pop. OPAD. Mm. Do, 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 do. Yeah, STSS is just going sideways there as well. Let's go back to AQB because AQB is testing brand new highs here. Yeah. So brand new highs and nothing. And then yeah, let me pull up OPAD. The OPAD. I don't know if I'd call this flying Richard, but yeah, nice little breakout. Nice little breakout. You notice how like we're celebrating, 24% wins now. A few days ago, we were looking at 300% gainers, 200% gainers. Now we're like, come on now, just give us something. Give us something. Give us something. It will collapse after 10 minutes, Rory. You're not wrong. And that's usually why I'm skeptical when you have candles like that, that like aggressive candles like that. I was a bit, skeptical. Vegas can't be choosing us. I know, right? We'll be celebrating those 200, 300% gainers again. Exactly. Right. I think we're just going, we had a lot of data this week. We're going into a long weekend, right? It's just the, yeah. No, Rob, absolutely. Absolutely. Not wrong. We're just used to, we're just used to get taking 20% from a 200% runner. Yeah, AQB is still having a hard time at $1.50. $1.50. And then CWD is just playing with that green zone. It's a nice green zone, isn't it? Right? It's a very nice green zone. But my goodness, these stocks are doing things that piss people off. That's why they end up breaking below. Like it's nice, right? Good spot. But we need to be testing the red zone, not the damn green zone. Come on. Come on. Ah, there we go. 310, 311. Come on. 312. Keep going in that direction. That thing said nope. Nope. And for some reason, it's having a really hard time actually closing above the kernel. TELO? Yeah. Yep. Not bad at all, Yogi. Right? Sometimes when you get that big of a drop, yep. Right? 4 cents, not bad risk reward at all. Right? So it only becomes a problem when you diamond hand it. Okay, so CWD again, we're liking this one the most for now, just because we're in a nice green zone. It's been holding this level for quite some time now. We just need to be pushing to the upside. So for now, we're really hoping this one can go back up and retest the 20s, the 320s. HKPD. How come every morning when stuff is annoying that stock shows up? Why? Here we go, 317 guys. Come on now. Come on. 318 going once, going twice. And sold to Virus 321, 320. Ooh! There we go. Can we hold this time? We need something, please. We're begging now, guys. We're begging. We need something. We need to close about 325 and then we can boom booms. Boom booms. Please. Type yes in the chat if you're holding CWD. Type yes in the chat if you're holding this. So again, 325, 330 is our next resistance, guys. We keep playing games up there, but we've done a really good job holding the bottom of the range, which is good. Right? OPAD is looking nice. Right? So but yeah, we want to see a breakout on this one. Virus is mesmerized. Come on now. Give us that push. Daniel, yes. KB, yes. Lion, yes. Right? So this is one of those where like you take the gamble in a beautiful green zone, right? And you hope it works. Um, right? Let's go, Stallion. $250. Give me a high five. Well done. So 320 exit, not a bad exit at all, right? Not bad. So again, we do need to break to the upside. It would kind of be annoying if we got back to the downside. I don't want to keep testing the bottoms. Look at that, right? So look at that rubbish, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, right? This is the type of week we're having, right? It's like we really good bottom. We go back to the top. We come back to the bottom. We just keep going back and forth, up, down, right? So this is why sometimes, especially when you're having a week like this, you take the gains at resistance, right? Like Stallion, If you're noticing that you're constantly feeling at a specific level, yeah, he took his money's OV, and then the stock said, "Oh yeah, yeah." So scalp, 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 right? Scalpy, scalpy, scalpies. The Is this video available in Discord? No. I don't know if you can. You might be able to. I think you should be able to actually, because it's not a members only video, JC. Yeah, I should be able. The streams should be available in the stream alerts channel in Discord. The members only videos, you have to click the link and watch on YouTube. Alrighty. And then OPAD is still pushing for that supply zone, right? Well done, Stallion. Yeah, right. You move your stop loss. We now know that we're in that type of market, right, where everything is just suspicious. Everything is super suspicious. So you scalp, you take the gains, right? You move your stop loss up, or you take the gains. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay, there we go. 2K, OTLK. Let's take a look. Yeah, SPY and NVIDIA. Look at this. Both of these are just hitting lows of the day, right? Both of those are just going abyss, 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 abyss. Right? Super, super, super weak. So not a whole lot happening with the markets there. Again, OPAD hitting that supply zone and backing off a little bit. We're getting a bit of a curl on THAR, which is nice. Right? So dip and then curl. So that looks okay. Right? Let me take a look at OTLK, Ahmad. OTLK. You got in at 84 cents. Okay, nice. 2,000 shares. Okay. You're nice and green on that. You basically played the breakout in this one then, right? So yeah, you played the breakout in that. It looks good, right? So you're nice and green on that position now. Stay green. Stay green. Stay green. Good job. What's your question, Samuel, for ALLR? What is your question there? AQB still looks interesting because it dipped and then retested the last breakout zone. So $1.25. So closer to 125 is your next support for AQB, and then resistance obviously at $1.50, right? LGHL is maybe looking like it's trying to consolidate and build a demand zone, right, for the first time, because that's looked really weak. So just make sure if you play with this, it stays above $1.96. If it breaks below that, it's going lower, right? CWD again, if you took your gains at resistance, well, you're happy, right? You're very happy if you did. So Dina, ICCM, of course. What's your position for ICCM now? Let me know. Again, if you have a position, guys, and you need help, just let me know the details. Are you looking for an entry in already? What price? Blah blah blah, stuff like that. And then there goes CWD making new lows. That thing says, you know what? Maybe we go back and test the 200 EMA. Maybe, maybe. Right. So yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, I kind of like what AQB is doing there. Kind of like what it's doing there for now. TELO is trying to curl finally there, Yogi. Let me take a look at ICCM. You're in at $1, and it's at $1.20. Good job, nice. Yeah, that looks good. It looks like you have resistance at $1.30, Dina. Alrighty. So you have a lot of resistance at $1.30. So as long as you stay above $1.10, though, you should be okay if you want to move that stop loss up. But yeah, resistance, resistance. Okay, let's take a look. There goes AQB. So I like what AQB is doing there. The only downside to AQB right now is that supply zone at 150, but it looks like it wants to break above. Yeah, that's a beautiful curl, isn't it, for AQB? It's a beautiful curl. Yeah, the only obstacle there, again, that's a nice dip and curl actually. The only obstacle there is that supply zone. La, 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 la. Yeah. See, if that thing can close above, maybe it's ready for a bit more. Uh, $1.50. Confirm. Do, 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 do. Pavan, 90% off? Huh. Interesting. Maybe some YOLO evals. Did you get some let me take a look. Do, 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 do. Let's take a look. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, you're right. There we go. Uh, do. Okay, nice. NXTT community chat to got fooled by someone, and a bunch of them are raging in NXTT. What happened, Tony? What happened? New session highs. Oh yeah. You know who's smiling right now? You know who's yeah, looking good. You know who's smiling? Ahmad is smiling. Ahmad, I can see your smile. You too, Rob. I can see your smiles from all the way in Canada. You know, over the mountains, I can see the smiles. That was a beautiful curl. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I like it. Good news, and the stock is down 52%. Yeah. Again, honestly, this is why our community is amazing, right? Because we know better. News is not that important, right? It's price action that is important. And if you've watched a video that says how to play stocks with breaking news, we don't give a damn about the news, right? I mean, we do, right? When it's obvious news, that usually cooks, right? But like the price action is so important. Yeah, CWD, it's trying. It's really trying. So let's see if it can, reclaim that level and push back to the upside again. These stocks have been quite annoying though. This is why again, when you see resistance, you take the gains, right? When you're constantly feeling my voice, when you're constantly feeling at the same spot there, you almost want to take those gains when you get there, or at least move your stop loss up. AQB really wants to break that $1.50 and hold, right? And then, are you gonna take half of your gains at some point, Matt? Are you gonna take some of those gains? And then THAR was curling nicely, and it really curled. That thing said, "Hello, I'm really curling." Right? That's a beautiful curl. I like that. So again, like it's the markets are annoying, but it's not like they're not opportunities, right? Opportunities for scalps are all over the place. So brand new highs for AQB now. 154, 156. So again, the only obstacle for this thing is that supply zone. Right? These supply zones. That's the only problem. Uh Rory, it just looked suspicious, didn't it? Right? OPAD. Yeah. Plus, you were in a supply zone, like pretty telling, right? Again, red zone. This is always the first warning sign. You have the yellow candle. You guys know what the yellow candle means, right? Yellow candle means we're going the opposite way, right? Whichever direction we were going in, the yellow candle says, "Hey, we're gonna go the opposite way." So you had two warning signs there with the fact that it's stalling. So and then AQB is like, nope, nope, nope. Look at that. AQB never really even closed above like $1.50, right? Like that 150 is such a problem on that thing. Such a problem. Such a problem. Yeah, THR is looking nice. Looking nice. And then Wheeler with a bit of a pop as well. JP. Hmm. There you go, 650. Yeah, might as well. Might as well. Okay. Uh, 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it looks like CWD is back to $3 at least, right? So it's really trying. The price action on that thing is just a bit annoying though. It's catching a curl. Yeah, it's done an okay job, Pyro, holding the bottom there, right? 1950 to 20 cents. There goes OTLK. That thing is looking good, isn't it? Look at that. Are you still smiling, Rob? Still smiling? Yeah, of course. Yeah, good job. $1.13. $1.14. It's like 1 penny at a time, but out 50%. Okay, no, that's good. Good, 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 good. Is the S&P curling at all? Kind of, a little bit, a little bit. You sold 50%. One, yeah. Okay, Matt, just make sure you put a stop loss on the rest, though, right? If you put a stop loss on the rest, so you're guaranteed to walk away with gains, gains, guaranteed. A bit of a consolidation, like we said, on LGHL. So trying to hold a bit demand zone here, 195 ish. So hopefully it stays above. OPAD is like, were you guys trashing me? I'm gonna come back. It's like, Rory, you wanna trash me? Yeah. You're feeling like Jaden? Why? What happened? Why? What happened? $1.17. Ayo, Hassan. Good. How are you? Good. How are you? JC, how are you doing today? Are you feeling better today? You making monies? Feeling better? Oh, look at that. 119. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. $1.20. That's actually a nice push, isn't it? Right? I like the dip. I like the breakout above the 200 EMA. Right? Nice push. So $1.20 would be that usual psychological level. Even though there isn't a supply zone there, $1.20 is usually that level, right? So see if it breaks above that. See if it breaks above. Copy. 29. Okay, there you go. CWD. Well, it better get back above $3 if that thing wants any signs of life, There goes 121, back to 120. OPAD is back to retesting that supply zone again. So not nice little hold of the VWAP there. OPAD. CWD is back above $3. Can it actually stay above though? You set your stop loss 118. Well done. I like it. Yeah, again, Imad, make sure you protect those gains, please. So much for the curl. Yep, exactly, Grunt. It's a dead cat bounce, right? But people are still gonna play with that momentum. So again, $1.20 is resistance, right? Nice little bounce up the bottom. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, your stop loss hit. between yeah, but there's a reason why I did that though, Matt, right? Don't forget that. Don't forget that there was a reason. It's not like it just wanted to, so it can go back up there, right? It would be nice if it went back up there, but remember that there's a reason. So play the technicals, play the chart, right? If you look at this, Matt, what you and I talked about on a one-on-one, perfect, easy, right? Play the chart, right? Play the chart. So again, pretty easy, right? Yeah, that was a very nice scalp prop. Very, very nice. And then again, $1.20 is usually a level where people are like, you know what? Maybe I want to take some of those gains. Maybe I want to take some of those gains. Oh, let's see. What are the rules in this one here? Mm, mm. Okay. There we go. Back to retesting $1.20. They're like, come on, get Rob out, please. Get him out. And then let's go back and retest. But still at the same spot though. Hmm. Two. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Perfect. Is it cooked? JC, what's your position in this one? All right, what's your position in this one? I really think we need to get it. It is great. Oh, that it's great today. Are you being for real, or you're just it's great today? JC, what's your position for CWD? Right, this is why I keep begging, especially in this market, like we really need to get in the habit of, like get in the habit of, you see gains, you take gains, right? Or you see that resistance, you know that CWD is clearly at resistance, right? Because it's shown you that a few times, right? It's shown you that quite a few times. So you see something like that, and you're like, you know what? Okay, cool. Let me move my stop loss at least, or let me take the gains, right? Stalin, are you happy you took those gains? I'm sure you are, right? So like really get in the habit of like managing your position, especially when the market kind of sucks. We're really not getting those 200% movers. Winterfell? Oh, okay. In NVIDIA? Okay. Sounds good. Uh, there we go. Too fast. THAR. Yeah. And then 660 seems to be your next little obstacle there. AQB doesn't quite look like it's done yet, though, does it? Again, that supply zone is pretty annoying at the top of the range, but it's done a good job holding $1.30 for now. So again, supply zones should be yeah. And then you can see that 120 resistance, right, for OTLK. So Rob, good job on taking those gains. Imad, where do you have your stop loss for now? Where's that stop loss? Don't make me find you. Okay? Don't you make me find you. Okay. OTLK doesn't look like it wants to give up yet, though. Doesn't look like it wants to give up yet. That thing said, don't worry, I got you, Imad. 122. $1.22. Still an obstacle though, still. So 120 is still a problem. Still a bit of a problem. 121. So 3. Okay, 4 of those. 113. Okay. 110, Imad? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's hope it can break out and then, just keep pushing. Hope you can get a breakout and keep pushing. And then again, this one just has too much supply there. I think that's the problem. And then 660 resistance for THR, like we mentioned, right? OPAD is also sitting right at that supply zone. LG is still holding somehow above $2, so that's not too bad, right? But not really doing much. And then CWD, right? Super weak. As soon as we broke below that bottom, yeah, just weak. Okay. NXTT for laughs. Sure we can. NXTT. Yep. Oof. Damn. Yeah, that's nasty. I mean, yeah. I don't know who would be buying this thing anyways. This is why, again, guys, like this. So this is another community you're in, Tony. They said the news was good and then it crashed. Yeah, that was this morning or when? Yeah, I mean, hopefully some people. Oh no, I'm not a part. They posted the news yesterday and it's been crashing. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's nasty. Hopefully some people took the loss and just moved on. Yeah, I see that. Yep. Yep. Again, to me, this is fairly simple though. Like fairly simple. If you think a stock has good news, right? Like let's say this is the news, right? And then it pops, right? If that stock breaks below that low before the news, you have to get out. Like this is the spot where you're like, no, not happening. Absolutely not. Right? To me, it's pretty simple. Like even if you take the gamble, you're like, okay, the news is good, and it's going up. This is the level where you're not allowed to go below, right? Once you pop, you don't go below that level. Because if you do, you're just praying for violence at that point, right? So this is often why we say like if a stock has support at this level, like if a stock has support right there, if you let it break below that level, you're praying for chaos because now that level is going to turn to resistance and it became resistance, and it just kept dropping, right? So and just dropping. Every time you create a new low, you're asking for it. CWD, yeah, above 260. Yeah, so that's that last pre-market bottom there. So maybe we stay above that CWD. Mm, mm, mm. And then AQB has done a really good job holding a dollar 30 here, which isn't too bad. Which isn't too bad. I wish that thing didn't have that supply zone up there because that's a pretty thick supply zone, right? So that makes it a little bit more complicated, but nice the way that it's been holding. Where's the 200 EMA on this one? Okay, all the way down 120. 120. Spy going back down, Dan? Yeah, hit the 50 and the VWAP and said, nope, too much resistance. Too much resistance. Too much resistance, Dan. Yeah. Justin, did you get in on that bottom there for CWD? Then AQB is trying to push back up again. The good thing is OTLK is still holding that 20, so hopefully it can push back to the upside. Push back to the upside. Push back to the upside. Go back in. Okay, looking to make it back 290. Okay. Is it looking good, Samuel? Let's take a look. ALLR, you're in at $1.55. Yeah, so you're green. It does look good. Yeah, looks nice. Not a crazy amount of volume, right? You can tell by the way the candles are moving, but yeah, it does look nice. Looks like we put a line there at $1.75 ish. Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah. So you're gonna have a little bit of resistance at $1.75. Samuel, hopefully it breaks above that. Ayo, Gil, how are you? Stop loss very tight, Justin. Good, good. Mm, Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Interesting. Okay. Do, 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 do. August for most stocks. JC. Yep. 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 August is usually one of those months. It's just like that. Like just super annoying, right? But I think it has more to do with like just being a long weekend and other factors though than just August, because momentum stocks usually still have the 200% gainers every so often. So I think once we get through this week, I think we're going to be cooking. Cooking. Cooking, cooking. Do, do. Mm, hmm, okay. Do, 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 do. Come on, we need something. We need something to cook. We need something to cook. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'm just looking at one of these other stocks here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Hmm. Yep. THR. Yeah. 13 all out. $500. Matt, good job. Yeah. So it looks like that double top at $1.20. Um, yeah, I like that you guys did the stop loss though, because sometimes you never know. As much as we expect $1.20 to be resistance, sometimes we break above it, right? So yeah, THR is the one that's pushing for those highs now. So that looks nice. That looks nice. Martin's been calling for $7. So Martin, Get that $7. SUGP looks okay too. $7. $7. And then again, I like AQB, obviously. I just don't like the fact that there's all those supply zones at the top. That's the only thing I don't like there. Yeah. And then yeah, so for THAR, just be aware of $6.90 to $7 there supply. Just be aware. It's funny how the bot picks out those entries. I don't know how we can delete that though. I'm sure there's a way to delete that stuff because it has no use. Zero use. Here we go. Here we go. 690. Perfect. And then SPY just seems to be going back and forth for now. Back and forth, back and forth. Back and forth. Are we going to make brand new lows again for SPY today? Retest the bottom at least. Virus, are you holding puts? Puts or calls? Anything? Dan's smiling because he's crashing the markets. Unbelievable, huh? Unbelievable. Trump says stay tuned on Chicago crime. Oh, okay. So maybe they're going to do something about that. Stay tuned, he says. Stay tuned. 9.5 puts. Okay. 645 for calls. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, let's see if we get there. CWD, Justin, is holding up well at the bottom there, so that's not horrible, right? So holding above 260s. Holding above the 260s. Someone should outlaw crime. National Guard and I don't like him. Crime. Yeah, ALLR doesn't look horrible. It's just super slow, Samuel. You're still in your position, right? Yeah, just super slow. And then still dipping there, and then you can see the supply zone, the resistance for THAR, right? So not that big of a surprise on this one. Not that big of a surprise on this thing. Try hard. Is that the yeah? So we have the IPO list on here. That's the THH IPO. THH. Actually, wasn't that supposed to be a $5 IPO? Yeah. See, we're not really paying attention to these IPOs because nothing's really done well, right? as soon as one of these IPOs cooked, I'm sure the IPO market's gonna get hot. But for now, we really need a new theme in the market. First time I'm looking at it today, Tony. It was on the IPO list, right? So we always have the IPO list on here. There's supposed to be 2 other IPOs today, right? So TGHL, right, and then ELOG. So, but you always want to wait to see if the first one actually does anything good, and then if it does, then we can pay attention to the rest. So we'll see. We shall see. Hmm. Justin, did you sell this position or no? You and then THR is looking for that level again. Looking for the resistance again. Hmm. Uh, okay. Come on, something give us the breakout. Spy's like, I want to give you the breakout. Virus wants the bottom. Nope. No bottoms, Virus. 200 EMA test though. So I'm sure there's going to be some resistance up there. Yeah, this thing wants to break that supply zone. Break the supply zone, 690. Okay. Two and then 6. There we go. $7. $7. First words will be boomskis. Yep. Boom skis. I like it. Mm. Boom skis and thrust, Tony. Yeah, so a little bit of resistance here at $7. Hmm. In as 460 cal. Okay. OPAD. So retesting the next supply zone there. That was a good breakout too, actually. About 445, 450. Yeah, good little break. Good little break. Mm-mm-mm. There we go. It's completely flying, Rory. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that thing like it hit resistance, but then broke out, right? So as soon as you break out, yeah, that's a different story. CWD is actually doing a good job trying to come back. See, this is what I mean. Like these names that we somehow pick, you're in at 73. Nice. The next support at the bottom was good, right? This double bottom was okay, but these stocks are becoming very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Mm. Yeah, you need to get above 290 and actually stay above 290. AQB seems like it's in the accumulation phase, right? Like it's just consolidating of that demand zone, but not actually quite breaking out. And then that $7 resistance for THAR. $7 resistance. This one's still halted, by the way. THH, the brand new IPO, right? I think it's because the IPO was supposed to be $4 to $5, Austin, and then it opened at around 650, and then boom skis, right? So there's brand new highs for the IPO. If that thing keeps flying like that, we might need to watch the next IPO, right? Just be careful though. This stuff is going to be volatile. Oh, that thing is cooking. So again, there's supposed to be two other IPOs today. Is it halted up now? Yeah, it's halted up. Halted up. $9.79. Did anybody FOMO into this thing? Anybody FOMO into this? No, 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 no. Okay. Hmm. Yep. 890, that's your entry. Okay. That's nice. That is nice. Just a random new business from what I see. Yeah. No, like Let me see what it actually. See, this site isn't the most amazing site, but we'll use it for now. Yeah, for now, just play the price action. THR is breaking that $7, by the way. Trying to at least. Yep. Try hard, IPO. Well, might as well keep trying hard. Try harder is what we need from it, you know? Spy breaking the 200, trying to. Maybe now we can actually start cooking, Dan. Virus 47. Yeah, maybe now we can actually start flying. CWD again, 290 resistance. Yep. Yep. Cook, spy, cook. Were you the only one that got into the IPO, Austin? Anybody else FOMO into this? Egan, did you FOMO? George, did you guys FOMO? Kyle, they're interesting. Interesting is what they are. Interesting is what they are. Nope. Okay. Yeah. 647. Yeah, again, so like I said, the 3 other IPOs, 2 other IPOs coming out today, supposed to, right? So TGL and ELOC, we'll see if they actually do go live, right? See if those 2 actually do go live, and then we'll go from there. So if one IPO is cooking, maybe the other ones will cook as well. So cook. Okay. CWD, I know, right? Pretty frustrating, Chris. 290. $290. Yep, exactly. Yeah, as soon as this thing failed at that resistance last time, everybody just said, thanks, guys. That's it. That's it. We've had enough. Hopefully, this isn't a 15-minute halt on that IPO because it's going to kill the vibe. Kill the vibes. I see. There we go. 1021. That might be a really good thing for the other ones then. MU? Come on, virus. Cook. Let me pull it up. MU. Micron. Nice virus. Nice. Yeah, especially on a day like today where the markets are like, do we go? Do we not go? Yeah, cooking virus. Well done. Love it. Love it. Yeah, that looks good. That looks very, very nice. I like it, virus. Congratulations. More, please. More, please. That's a nice candle. Cook, markets, cook. Yeah, that 47, right? So 647 ish resistance on SPY there. See if we can get a breakout. Cook, cook, cook. See. Okay. Let's go, Spikes. 648. Good job. Good. Yeah. Hopefully we keep flying there. And then for some reason, CWD doesn't want to break out, right? So 290 resistance, quite obvious. AQB just keeps bouncing off 230, $1.30, right? Up and down, up and down. So more of a scalpy scalp name. The IPO still halted here. The IPO is still halted. Is a real yeah. Do you have a position, Tony, in serve? Let me know. Into OPAD? At least it's going somewhere, you know. Rotate the monies. So yeah, 490 to $5 resistance on this one though, Rory. Not, OTLK hasn't really done anything since hitting down 120. So again, good job on taking the gains there, guys. Good job on taking the gains. No. There we go. Perfect. You couldn't get in Suck Monkey? Oh, the IPO? Oh yeah, it's gone, isn't it? Yup. Yup. Try Hard Japan is gone. Wow. Maybe this is gonna be good for the other two IPOs though. Shish. Gone skis. Yeah, did anybody else FOMO? And you're back in the game. Good spikes, good, right? I think you got caught up by the same thing that catches a lot of people spikes, right? Same thing, right? So you're doing really, really well, and the market reminds you, like, hey, I'm the captain, right? So yeah, when you're doing well, you have to remember, like, if you were doing well with $500, just because you have 2,000 now doesn't mean you trade with 2,000, right? So you have to go back to, stay with your $500, and if you have need for the other monies, use the monies, right? So, and you want to have a really, really, really good stop loss, right? Like the more you make, I always tell people, the more you make, the more discipline you're gonna need, right? The more you make, the more discipline you need. Too big, too fast, greed hit. It was yep, no, exactly, spikes. That happens to a lot of people, a lot of people, right? The more you make, the more discipline you need. Otherwise, the markets will punish you. It's funny how they say, your biggest losses come after your biggest gains. Um, just because we get greedy. I mean, Austin, send it. 1181. OPAD is also pushing for brand new highs of the day now too, so that's nice. Right. So there goes that $5 break. Oh, virus. That's right. Virus. I forgot, and then the market closed. So I need to look today as well. There's spikes. See, that's what I mean, right? I think sometimes people forget that, like, you're gonna make mistakes, right? That just shows you that this has nothing to do with your trading about ability, right? Nothing to do with that at all, right? Not like you're good at what you do, right? You have to stay disciplined though, right? Because you could have one bad day, two bad days, and it wipes you out. That shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen, right? So Hmm. Interesting. Okay, the China stocks. Yep, and SPY is retesting the highs again, so that's nice. THR just couldn't close above $7, and they slapped it back down. And then AQB is still fighting with $1.50, right? So that supply zone has been an obstacle there, a bit of an obstacle. Okay, there goes the on hold, guys. 1150, 1160, 1170. Again, be careful with stuff like this, though, please. Right? It's not like it's running because it has merits. It's just the vibes. Alrighty, so just be very careful, please. Don't get scammed in this. Alrighty, don't get scammed. Pretty please. But maybe the reason why it's pumping is we don't know the reason, and it's gonna keep pumping. But that thing is all over the place, though, so be careful. Did someone virus? Exactly, Rob. Amazing call, virus. Will be lowered. Just a thought. If the market switch over to a real estate thing, um, maybe. perhaps. Shane? uh, Wheeler. Yeah, hopefully you're not red in that position, Shane. Yeah, it's halted down, by the way. 10-10. Good spikes. Good. Yeah, good. Just again, discipline, 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 right? Yeah. So like when we talk about these things on stream, it's because we've been there, and we don't want anybody else to be in the same position. So yeah, THH is halted down. You've made it a little bit. Okay, good. OPAD is failing on your next supply there, right? OPAD. OTLK has actually done a good job holding around, like above the 50, even though it's really not doing very much, but it's done a good job holding. Again, AQCB, we keep looking at this one because it looks interesting and it's been holding the bottom and it just keeps fighting, right? So at some point we want to see that thing break out. Anybody holding AQB in the chat? Yeah. Anybody holding this one? Yeah, there's a reason why we keep going back to this one because it has the vibes. It just has that supply zone, right? So again, $1.30-ish would have been nice because that's the level it's been holding, right? So if I put a horizontal line at the bottom here, right, it's done a good job holding the base, but it's also been failing at the top quite a bit, right? So resistance, resistance, right? But then support, 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 right? And you can kind of see a little bit of consolidation at the bottom there. So let's see if it can break out this time. Patricia, yes? Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Brand new highs of the day, AQB. Right? So there it goes. Nice pop. Nice pop. Yeah, let's see if that candle can actually close above the last three candles. Okay. I think my only concern for this thing has been the yeah. Suck monkeys, send it. My only concern for this the entire time has been that supply zone, right? The supply zone, the red zones at the top. So you can easily have a candle go up and then come back right down. Pop and then right back down. Mm, 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 mm. Choo, 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 choo. 152. At least those candles are finally closing above though. That's the highest closed candle we've had so far for AQB. So that's hope. Suck monkey. I like it. Good. Again, those supply zones are going to be a problem. But what's SPY doing now? Still playing with 47? Yeah. And it's better than being deep red though. Still kind of feels a bit suspicious, doesn't it, SPY? Let me look at the 5-minute here and the 15-minute. I'll look at the 15-minute actually. Yeah. It's like sitting in the middle of the range here. Yeah, 47.65. Yeah, it definitely has more room to the upside, right? So especially when you look at that 15 minutes, so that level up there, virus, right? So kind of yesterday, right? Yesterday, this morning, right? And then at the open as well. So yeah, it definitely has a bit more room to the upside, but yeah, it's playing games though, that's for sure. How do you get in? How do I get in? Get into what tracks? What are you getting into? And then the IPO is on halted, guys. 960 now, right? So 980. There goes $9, right? You definitely want to be careful with these things, right? And there goes 880. So careful, please. It's like it's all over the place, which is a good thing and not a good thing, right? You can easily be in and out in the same candle, right? Uh, but yeah, you definitely want to be more careful than anything else. Alrighty. Adobe. What about Marvel? What's your question for Marvel? I'll come back to OPAD here. Let me take a look. ADBE. Hmm. That was a nice double bottom there, Virus. 332. That was nice. Right. Not sure what you're thinking. But I don't know if you can make that decision yet, Virus. Right. So the bottom of the range obviously closer to this level, right? Closer to that. I can get my thing to work here. So obviously closer to that, right? And then what we've been sitting here the last week or so, Virus, right there, right around the 50 and just stalling. So now I think maybe what happens here is we're dipping a little bit to give you a bit of a curl, right? Uh, but it's not quite happening yet. So this is a bit more confusing than anything else. If we look at the 4 hour, maybe that'd be a little bit more telling, right? So same bottom, same resistance, but it's not quite giving you that curl yet to go back and test the upside. But that double top is quite clear though. So 365 ish, yeah, and then the 200 EMA on the 4 hour as well up there. The good thing for this one though is you have that demand zone right at like 350. Right, so 350 seems to be holding, but if it breaks below 350, yeah, then maybe we want to go back down there. So for now, as long as 350 holds, I would still expect it to curl back up into the 365s and retest that 200 EMA with the double top there. And then obviously there's more room to the upside. But if we break below 350, then yeah. What were you wanting 400 calls for 919? 919, 400 calls. 400 calls. Yeah, I almost feel like you need to give it just a second, Virus. Like these time frames don't do it a whole lot of justice, right? Because you still need to see the curl. Even on the 30-minute chart, it's still not curling yet, Virus, right? Like it's at the level where you want it to curl, but it's just not showing you the curl yet. Right? Like we've seen the same thing on the daily, the 4 hour and the 30-minute. Like it's there, right? It's wanting to curl. We almost need to give it like a 15-minute candle curl or something. Like even on the 15-minute, it was still at the bottom. Like it's a good spot. You just need that candle to actually show you some life. Right. This was at I think this was Wednesday, obviously Wednesday and Tuesday, right? Same spot. And then it's curling there because this was the breakout on Monday, right? That was the breakout spot on Monday. So this level's become very important here. It's retesting it, which is nice. You just need that curl. Unless you're willing to take the gamble and then hope that we curl and then go from there. OPAD. Yeah, OPAD just has that supply zone up there. That's it. So 510 ish. Not worth it? Okay. Sounds good. So AQB still looks good. THH is still dipping, $8, right? From $12 to $8, right? Pretty crazy, huh? So be very careful, please. OTLK, like I said, it doesn't look horrible. It's done a good job holding, but it's also not really doing anything that's overly exciting, right? THAR, obviously, that $7 resistance, that was a pretty good spot to be selling, right? So if you took those gains, congratulations. Welcome back, SOGP. Yeah, bit of a like a small breakout. Yeah, a Winterfell, like a 635 breakout. Ooh, we say small breakout. That thing said no small breakouts. No small breakouts here. So yeah, this little spot here, right? SOGP. So right there, yeah, you can see the breakout too. Um, and then obviously now your next level is all the way up there, right? Not a bad pop, is it? Not a bad pop at all. 660. Ooh, nice Winterfell. Yeah, yeah. 630. Yeah, 6645. Yep, nice. Good job. It's halted at 810, Austin. Yeah. On open last night, Greg. Okay. The open. Mm, 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 mm. Do, 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 do. Okay. Austin. I don't know. I don't know. It was just a name, you know. Uh, I don't know. They just gave it to me. No. So actually, it's a French name. Um, depending where depending where I am, people pronounce it differently, right? Um, like if I'm somewhere that's French, they're gonna pronounce it bless. That's what it was supposed to mean. Like blessings, like bless, right? But then it's different. So like if I'm somewhere that's English, it's like yeah, they're gonna call me Blaze. But then if somewhere that's French, they're gonna call me Bless. Um, yeah, yep. So that was the idea. Why D? What did you do? Are you scalping a lot? What happened? Well, thank you, Austin. You too. Yeah, Tony. You too. Yeah. Yes. 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 Good job, Jeff. Blase. Yeah, exactly, Pablo. Yeah, people have called me all the names, all the names. Pablo, we had a new member. Ooh, look at SOGP, guys. Damn, my goodness, that was a pretty sweet breakout. Let's go. Well done, Chris. Well done. I like that. That thing is just cooking now. That was a really nice curl, actually. That was a really nice curl. For the gold members, Chris, I like it. Yeah, look at that thing cook. So above the supply zone. That supply zone hasn't gone away though because we haven't closed yet. Winterfell is like, dang it. Good. That was a good scalp though, Winterfell. Good breakout. Short and hungry. uh, Pablo, we had a new member. Her name. Uh, what's her name again? I don't remember. Um, Trying to remember the name. She almost had. I don't know if that's your real last name though, Pablo, because she had the same last name. I'm like, wait, is this Pablo? Do you know Pablo? And she's like, no, I don't know Pablo. I'm like, wait, what? Why? Um, the last name was Baez. Yeah, you guys have the same last name. See, same last name. I'm like, is this Pablo's wife coming? Is she from DR? Maybe, I have no idea. See, now I want to find out that name. Um, let's see. Maybe she's on stream. Are you on stream? Maybe. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, I'll get you guys to the DR people to say hello to each other. Uh, poses tariff reduction to implement US. Okay, cool. Very very cool. So they're making progress at least. Short. It's a lot of cookies. No, that's not what it means. Minis. Yeah, look at AQB, right? This has been my concern with AQB the whole time. Um, that's been my concern with AQB the whole time is just that supply zone up there is a problem. You know, the supply is a problem. And then what's SPY doing here? Yeah, SPY really does have more room to the upside. Question is, will it actually get there though? Will it get there? Yeah, nice little retest here for SOGP. Sound group. D. Take a deep breath in, and just remember that it's not really worth it. Yeah, not worth it. They're not worth your frustration. It was going to retest, Speedy. Yeah, we just keep going back and forth. Like, it's nice that we're holding the green zone, but the red zone is all over the place, right? Like, all over the place. And honestly, again, we are in that market where you should be scalping stocks. A lot of what are those, Pablo? I almost want to search it up now. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's called something else though. Yeah. Oh yeah, like seaweed. Yeah. Hmm. You're learning, Speedy. Yeah, no, that's good. To Florida. Hmm. The winds, Pablo. The winds. Yeah, look at that. From $7, 720 to 620, right? Like, this is why everything these days just scalp and move on. Good morning, Al. Scalp and move on. And nice little pop there for SPY. So now we're testing the high highs. Testing the top of the range. And then all of a sudden we get a fat boomski candle. A fat boomski candle. There's the fat boomski candle. The fat boomski candle. Yeah, so we went all the way up there to retest the top of the range. I wonder if we actually break out though, and then just keep cooking, for the rest of the day. I wonder. Yeah, looking pretty strong. Dan, did you have you hit your daily goal for the day? Looking very strong. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. With this, I'm only shooting. Oh, okay. Dan, good. Yeah, SUGP. Yeah, brand new highs there as well. That was a good breakout, and that was a really good retest, actually. Good breakout and really good retest. Good break and good retest. Yeah, Dan, not really worth the the stress. Yeah, that's a good daily goal. I think your daily goal is a bit aggressive in the first place. So very aggressive. The it's a mouthful. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You got stopped out. Spikes, you were green though, right? Reduced daily goal, but got some runners. Yeah, you did really good. That was good. Thank you. So the brand new IPO TGHL, that's the other IPO that was supposed to come out today, right? So $4 IPO. This one looks a bit suspicious. A bit more on the suspicious side, but yeah. Hope it stays above $4. Alrighty. You only play this thing if it stays above $4. With the candle, good spikes. Well done. Good. I'm glad you're coming back. See you're able to do it. You just have to be very patient with it. No more crazy. $230,000. Sheesh. My goodness. We could get Dan to buy the whole company, Rob. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Get him to buy the whole float, buy the whole company with revenue like that. Virus. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would come back down. And also earnings. Yeah. I just wasn't sure what the deal would be with that there. And then SPY got rejected at that level there, which is kind of obvious, right? A little bit on the obvious side there. Yeah, we hit seven. Yeah, really close there, virus, to the level you were looking for. Really close. Very close. Hmm. So yeah, we'll see if we can go back up and break above, or I just keep playing games. Keep playing games, spy. Surprise, surprise, rejected. You did? You caught that? 0 DTE? 0 DTE put? Yeah, that was a perfect top, wasn't it? That was a really good top. A very, very good top. Yeah, now the question is, do we keep failing there though, or do we now reverse back to the bottom side? Right, that's the question. Good job on taking those gains, those spikes, right? Keep it disciplined like that, and I think you're gonna do really well. I think you're gonna do very, very well. Very, very well. Jimbo, I think Jimbo is just 56%. Did you take it? Welcome back, Jimbo. I think you're just re-signing up, right? So welcome back. Let me know if you need a link though, Jimbo. I don't think you do, but let me know if you do. Let me know if you do. A hard rejection. Yeah, the new IPO isn't as exciting as the last one, is it? It's really not. But just make sure if you're playing with it, it actually stays above $4 already. Yeah, that was quite the rejection. That was hard. They said, "Excuse me, where do you think you're going, spy?" That was a nice short. Hard. Yeah, Jimbo. Yeah, let me know if you need the link. I think you should be good. I think you're just re-signing up. But again, that resistance for some 0 DTE puts were quite obvious, right? It's been failing here like since yesterday, so that's why we kept looking at that level for resistance. That's the 15-minute chart, by the way, for SPY. So it's easier to see the violence, you know. Easier to see the violence. Yeah. Is there a website that he shares insights? Michael, we are in Discord in Premarket 24/7, right? In Premarket, after hours, all the hours. Alrighty, so yeah, if you want to join us, you have to be a member in Discord. So that's the yeah. So click the join link at the bottom of the chat, sign up for the legend or above level, and then come join us. Alrighty. SUGP is looking really good though, isn't it? Type yes in the chat if you're holding SUGP. SOGP. I keep saying SUGP because there's another stock. There's another one, right? So. There we go. Look at that rejection on SPY. Look at that. Look at that rejection. That's a pretty nice rejection, isn't it? Virus, did you take 56% or you stayed in there? Can you imagine not taking that? Oof. Damn, that would have been nice. That was a perfect wall there. Perfect resistance. 688, Keegan. Okay, good job. Yeah, you're nice and green now. Just be aware that your resistance is 780, 790. Alrighty? Just be aware that you have resistance there, please. Pretty please. So don't end up holding a bag. Alrighty? So resistance supply. I think virus is counting the monies. First of the month or 30 days. Yeah, so 30 days, Michael. So it's not the first. It's yeah. Otherwise that would be pretty silly, you know. It will tell you, like when you sign up, it's gonna give you all the information before you actually pay for it. Let's do. Yeah. There we go. It did, yeah, it did though, right? So Rory, that $7 was a big problem. It was a big problem. A pretty big problem. Hmm. Let's see. Any thoughts on RR, Greg? What's your position? What's your position there? What's your position? Damn, SPY really got rejected hard. My goodness, that's the issue when we don't have a proper trend. You know, a proper trend. And then OPAD, that 510 resistance. Does TA work, virus? Only sometimes, you know? Only sometimes. Only sometimes. Only. Ooh, wee. That's perfect, virus. There we go. Correct. TA is the best tool you can have, or no? Yes. The only reason I hesitate is because I know you need other things too, you know? Um, but those other things can still count as TA, you know? Um, right? And then also when you're playing with large cap stocks, sometimes the fundamental analysis is also as important as the TA, right? Um, yeah. But yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. You can't hear the music much. I wonder why. Can you hear it now, Austin? For me, it seems too loud, doesn't it? Anyways, what do you think is going to happen with CGHL? Thank you for the super chat. What I think is going to happen here is Elusis. If it can stay above $4, then you have a chance of continuation to the upside. It's a brand new stock. You can't really put too much effort into this. Um, already, you can't really put too much effort into this just because it's a brand new stock, right? For now, the way we treat these IPOs is your entry should be as close to the IPO price as possible, right? So that's that $4, and it has to stay above. Alrighty. So if you're playing with this, you're watching this, right? Again, the entry should have been closer to $4, and it has to stay above $4. That first candle was below, but then it reclaimed it, so that's fine. And then it looks like you're kind of stalling a bit at 420, right? Which is a really common level. So, but now your support is $4 and your resistance is 420. So, um, yeah, make sure you have a really good plan with this, though. We work with Joshua. What do you mean? For you? Tell them to play their own music. Is the music you guys can hear the music though? Hopefully. Yeah, and then SUGP, right? So just that supply zone up there. Your last yeah, double top or double bottom. Yeah, we better pump it, virus. All I want to see now is brand new highs of the day, brand new all-time highs. That's all I want to see. You're new to the channel. Well, what type of profit do you generate? A lot of profits, Joshua. Um, can you make it louder than your voice? No. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, Barry, show me brand new all-time highs, please. So again, yeah, for SUGP, this was a really good breakout, right? The initial breakout at the bottom was nice. That's the one that Winterfell initially got into, and then this breakout here was equally as nice, right? So double top and then breakout, and then retest on these smaller candles. So that was good. So this looks really good now, right? You're just dealing with that supply zone up there. Good run on this one though. Really, really good run. SOGP. Virus. Yeah, here we go. Test again. Type yes in the chat if you're still holding an SOGP. Yeah. Look at that thing cook, guys. Here we go. $8. Boom skis. Boom skis. So let's see if we can close above $8 and get rid of that supply zone there. Mm. Joshua, to validate credibility. No, you're fine. It's okay. Just hang out with us for a little bit. If not, that's okay as well. Yeah. So everybody has their goal. Everybody has their profit target. The goal isn't to compare, right? The goal is to educate, learn, and find the right ideas, right? There you go, Keegan. 688. Take profit at 680. Congratulations. High five. Well done. Yeah, that's a very nice. That's a very nice scalp. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Good job. Yeah, Keegan, you've made all those monies back for your membership, haven't you? Right? All of the monies. Yeah, that's a nice scalp, Roger, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, 688 was all the way down there in the breakout, right? He was looking for this breakout. So double top breakout. Breakout, entry, boom skis. So yeah, all the monies has been made back. Patrick, yes. Trust me, bro. That's the vibe. Mm, yeah. Yep. So yeah, your next little wall here is gonna be that $8 level. The $8. I because I enjoy the yeah, helping in yep, exactly. Dan. 3, 2, 1, boom. Boom skis. Yeah, so SUGP. Is this the top gainer for the day? It is, isn't it? Yep, it is. Very nice. Uh-oh, what did virus do? Uh-oh. Yeah, so $8 would be that next breakout level then we can zoom out for the next zone. For the next level. Some of these cannabis plays are doing okay now too, huh? Right. So TGHL. What's your entry price, Ulysses? What's your entry price for TGHL? Let me know. Maybe that'll help your question a bit more. And then CGC, right? One of these cannabis names that are doing well today. Yeah, slow and steady. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing too crazy, but the chart does look nice. Chart does look nice. Into this at a market open using your Discord. Tank, is there any way you can get into this? Get into what? Into SOGP? I mean, the alerts were going off at the open, yeah? Right? It was breaking out at the open. So if you go back and look at those alerts, the alerts were coming through at the open after that initial dip, right? And then it broke out. So $5 breakout. This was the breakout. Right? So resistance, resistance, boom skis, breakout. And then it never looked back after that, right? Never looked back. And then it had a major dip and then curled back up and boom skis. So now you're testing $8 resistance here. 40 cent scalp D. Nice. Look at that. Good job. Good jobs. Okay. 40 pennies. IVVD with a bit of a comeback. A bit of a comeback. And there it goes. Brand new highs. Come on, virus. You don't like oh, Amazon? uh, $8.27 at the top there. That thing got rid of all those supply zones. Hoots. Mm, Interesting. Okay. 820. 835. It's a really nice push. Oh, what is it doing, virus? Now I want to go look. Now I want to go look. CGC looks nice. Super slow, but looks nice. 8 Adobe. Yeah, yeah, new lows, right? Yeah. Yep. That was the yeah, I think the time frame virus would be like something on the 15 minute or the 30 minute, right? Because it looks like it's at support, but it's not actually curling yet, right? Like that's the support, but it wasn't actually curling. So if it's not, yeah, then they slap it, right? To the next demand zone, which looks nice as well, right? Like this next level looks cool too, virus. Right? 5250-ish. Not bad. It just needs to give you that curl, you know? Yeah, the Greeks, not worth the stress yet. Great call on okay, try this. Great call on Amazon. Virus. Ah, yes, 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 yes. Make it happen. Make it happen. Maybe Spy is gonna go give you a double bottom again, virus. Or maybe that thing is just gonna be look for the bottom and get slapped to the abyss. But yeah, the easy part was at the bottom. The easy part was at the top. Now in the middle is just not exactly easy. Not exactly easy. Not exactly easy. Trade again. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then some profit taking going on SOGP. Profit taking. Okay, fine, virus. Fine, fine. I'll look. Amazon. Fine. Ooh, I see what you're looking at. Yeah, that same level is probably going to apply to all the time frames now. Yeah, what was that? That was 233. Yeah. Yup. Yup. I see what you're looking at, virus. Are you inputs? 3 hours. I know, right? Yeah. Yup. 3 hours later. That was a good spot, though. Did you take those puts? Yeah. The last time we were there was August 14th. Yep. So 233. You took it 2 weeks out. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's a good spot. That is a nice spot. That is a very nice spot. I like it. Yeah, and you have a bit of time on those two virus. And if it breaks out, you just get rid of it. Right? Yeah. Okay. Winner. Let's go. Congrats. Good job. Yeah, that was a good spot for some puts. Yeah. Roger, you playing the markets or just watching for now? And OPAD is still below that supply zone. This IPO is still just playing with 420, which isn't horrible, I guess, but it's not like it's doing a whole lot though. At least it's holding $4. MSPR announces reverse stock splits to maintain compliance. Welp, well. And another push above $8 here for SOGP. Another push. I don't think you want them to, Virus. Don't ask for it. Stop at 8. Okay, you're cooking D. Cooking as usual though. As usual. And now what's Spy doing now? Spy looks like it's built somewhat like building a bit of a base, like some higher lows, for pushback to the top. But we know this thing can turn on a dime though. So let's see. We shall see. D? That's okay. Why? What did they do to you? Why did they piss you off? Because you do all the work. All the works. D's making monies in the market and his boss is pissing him off. That's not a good combination. Because D's like, you play with me, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Well, he better start thinking of giving you a raise, D. Otherwise he's gonna be doing all of the work alone. And then OPAD is retesting the top of the range again, guys. So that 510, right? Resistance. Yeah. So let's see if it can break out this time. The OPAD. There we go. Yep. Is that a brand new high for the day? It is for OPAD. Yep. Brand new highs of the day. There goes 517. So that candle still needs to close above 510. Still needs to close above. There we go. Here comes 520 again. Missed it. Yep, exactly, Winterfell, yeah. Yep, there goes brand new highs. Looking nice. Is anybody holding OPAD in the chat? Anybody? Yeah. OPA for OPAD. What if this is an Israeli company? No, they're from Arizona. Chandler, Arizona, USA. Uh, with oh dang D, dang. So whose fault is that though? Right? Yeah, they're gonna have to do something. Um, or get a new one. D. Tell them fix it or get me a new one. Yeah, that's frustrating. Yeah, but yeah, don't fight anybody though. Right? You told them and they didn't listen, so don't fight anybody. Rory? That's why you just follow the candles, follow the charts. Not what you think, not what you think. 536, 537. The IPO, by the way, is pushing for above 420 there. So Ulysses, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but if you are, see if you can actually stay above 420. See if you can stay above the 420. Alrighty. Yep. Okay, back to the OPAD here. Yeah, 52-week highs, $5.38. 407 work. Okay, nice. Very, very nice. I like it. Yeah. Like I said, the entry for IPOs, you want to be as close as possible. As close as possible to the IPO price. So if it breaks below, you close the position and then hope it cooks. So it would be nice to see some volume coming above 420, Would be nice. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, no, 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 no. Mm-hmm. SPY is still looking suspicious, isn't it? Even though it's still giving us higher lows. That's also a 15-minute candle, though. So I'll change it to the 5-minute. Yeah, you can still see that, right? But then that resistance is right there. So it's going to need to make a decision at some point. Either we fail at supply and then crash, or we break out. AQB is still just playing games here, Jack, right? Up, down, supply, green, supply and demand zones. So this stock has been more for the scalping than anything else. For Ray, does it look weird? The Ray-Ban tech, oof, that looks nasty. It doesn't look weird. It just looks weak. Right? There's nothing good about this chart. Not yet. Not yet. And make sure you're paying yourself on the way up with these plays, though. Momentum. Yeah, momentum. OPAD. The momentums. So this to me looks like more of a retest of 510 for OPAD. Oh, you're working out? Okay, good. And yeah, so SPY looks like it's still trying to, give us that double bottom and then a pop. We'll see if it actually works. We need a Trump tweet to pump the markets. Come on, Trump, where are you? Give us a positive tweet. Give us a positive tweet. Yeah, so OPAD retested and holding for now. The 4 hour, yeah, because we haven't really broken our virus. We're just giving higher lows in a small time frame, but when you zoom out, it's like meh. There's really nothing happening. There's just nothing happening other than like going up and down. So yeah. Nothing happening other than playing games. Okay, let's see. There we go. Let me take a look. Yeah. INHD. That's a nice. Yeah, that is a nice pop. You have that pre-market resistance at 550 though, so just be mindful. That's a really nice pop actually, JC. Really nice pop. This is why again we keep saying like set those alerts on names you like. Set those alerts, right? The EMA crossover alert because that would have been a really nice alert for this one. Yeah, so 550-ish, 550-ish resistance, right? So that resistance was from that pre-market level there. 550. Oh, okay. Still holding that retest yet at $5.10 for OPAD. And so breakout, retest, and trying to curl. Trying to curl. Come on, virus. Show me the boomskis. I want to see your breakout. Tired of the range. SOGP, what's your question, Kiara? What's the question? And then NHD said, no thanks, guys. 550 resistance. Catch me outside. Yeah, don't forget to smash a like, guys, if you haven't already. Smash a like, hit that subscribe. And if you want to join us in Discord, click the link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbot. Come join us. Alrighty? Come on, Jose. What are you waiting for? You could be cooking options with the rest of the criminals, but no. Well, I'll do one for the Gambo virus. Yeah. Let me take a look. So before I do that though, you guys notice how like CWD was the best name coming into the open and then now it's garbage? For some reason the entire week Every name that's been the favorite coming into the open has been trash, right? Yeah. Ooh. Those bottoms at like 1430 been holding up really well. Okay, virus. One gambles. One gambles. Deal? Deal. Okay. One gambles. Okay, 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 good. So 20 for 2026. Oof. 2026. 2027s. I like those actually. Because I think in the long run, Bull is going to be okay. I think the only thing that's holding it back is because that company is really run, the like the home company is not in the States. If it was, people like Weibo too much for it to be at $14, right? People just like Weibo too much for that thing to be at $14. I think if, yeah. And they've also done some pretty fishy offerings, but I think they're going to do well long term. I'll look at those 2027s later too. Okay. Here we go. Which will be good? Yeah, I think they need to market like Robinhood does. Because Robinhood is a beast. A beast. SUGP. Yeah, that supply zone at $8 ish is holding it back. And TGL looks like it really wants to go. It just doesn't have the volume to go. Or do you have a stop loss in your position? Not having to worry so much about expiration, Jose? Yeah, yeah. Do you think is debt consolidating a lot? Not as long as it stays above $1.30, Stephanie. The answer is no. I don't like that it's consolidating for so long, right? Uh, but for now, as long as it stays above, already $2, $1.30, the answer is no. If it breaks below, then probably yes. Yeah, even 407. Okay, yeah, not a bad gamble at all. Not a bad gamble. Jack, I just talked about AQB. I'm literally staring at it and talking about it. Right? Is it popping again? Yeah, this one just has too many issues at 420 for some reason. And then yeah, THH was the other IPO from today. Yeah, it's trying to come off the bottom. Can you believe this thing actually made brand new lows from $12 to $6? Yeesh. Nasty. Yep. So yeah, $6, the low of the day for now, 603. SPY with a nice little pop there, which kind of expected, right? But it still needs to break out. Like this is it's just playing games for now. Playing games for now. How come everybody's asking about AQB? I'm staring at AQB, guys. Right? So again, I've said this all day today, right? I like AQB closer to $1.30. The only thing that I haven't liked about this stock is the fact that we've had all this red zone at the top, right between 150 and 160, right? So every time we get there, people are taking gains, right? So for now, if you're holding AQB, you need to make sure it stays above $1.30 or put a stop loss right below. If it breaks below, people might be panicking because then we're creating new lows, right? So but that's it. That's it, guys. It's not really doing much, right? Come on, Sam. Everybody's like AQB question mark? Like not even a proper question, you know? Stephanie's the only one with a proper question. Yeah. Choo, 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 choo. Choo, 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 choo. But yeah, no, as long as it stays above $1.30, you have a shot. There goes a nice little curl there for SUGP, right? So we're pushing back for that last high. So yeah, let's see if we can get there. See if we can get there. Which one? AQV? Which one, Tony? This one? SOGP? What do you think about AQV? SOGP? Okay. Where did you buy at? Where did you buy at? What time, what price? Uh, 77778 776. Oh, I see what you did. Yeah, that was a really good entry, by the way. I think you just got scared because the candles have a big range, right? But that was a very good entry. Boom skis. Look at SOGP go. Boom skis. Boom skis. 890. So brand new highs of the day on this one. Type yes in the chat if you were in SOGP. Yeah, virus. Yes, yes, yes. Um, yeah, I just scrolled back and got the one you bought yesterday. Not the 22. That's why I said I'll look at the 2027 later because I actually don't mind that one. Yeah, I actually don't mind that one. Cool King. That was a really good scalp out Winterfell. I know, Tony. You picked a really good entry. You just got scared though, even though the plan was still intact, right? Yeah, the plan was still intact there. Yeah, and yeah, I think the other thing is you bought before the candle closed. You bought before the candle actually closed, so then you got scared. Stick to the plan, Tony. You would have been okay if you stuck to the plan, right? So yeah, cooking. Yep. Where's Andy? Did Andy get in? Maybe Andy was getting snacks. There we go. 9:10. Spy cooking. We needed to cook more. We need highs of the day. We need those breakouts, Chase. Right. So those higher lows in the 5 minute have been nice. We just need the breakout though. So yeah, 52-week highs. 52-week highs for SOGP. Oh my days, suck monkey. Anthony. uh, yeah.
That's what I figured.
What did you figure, Siri? Why is Siri listening to me? Did you guys hear that? River, hello? Yeah, it's gonna need to break out. Make sure it stays above the 30, right? $30. Yeah. Siri's like, that's what I figured. What did you figure? Doo-doo. Uh yeah, you got scared because it was near the red zone. Yeah. Uh there we go. 9:30. 9:30. Flying. Oof. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. Ah. Yeah, what a crazy pumper. Yeah, Siri's always listening, listening and snooping. Listening and snooping. Right? Because that's what Siri does. Uh, uh, okay. Okay, brand new highs incoming. Spy just had a nice fat green candle, so maybe we can actually break out this time. You know what else is having a fat green candle, guys? Ooh, wee. Beautiful. Cooking, cooking, cooking. Cooking. Patrick, yes, of course. Yeah, there you go. 970. That's a nice push. That's a very nice push. Again, type yes in the chat if you're in this, guys. 970. Anybody in this? Other than the scalpers? 990. Here comes $10. Woo, look at that. Look at that. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go, Spikes. Yeah, that was a nice pump. Hopefully we can actually break out and keep cooking though. Hopefully we can actually break and keep cooking. That'd be nice. NHD is trying to curl there. OPAD is also trying to curl, right? But SOGP is the one. Is the one. Is the one. Beautiful. Uh, let's see. Do, 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 do. Done. Tight stop loss since you already over the goal. Good job, Spikes. Good. I like it. Well done. Well done, Skis. Well done, Sky. What does the daily look like? I want to see what that thing does at $10, and then we can look at the daily. You know, see if we can find a base. But now, let's go. Let's go. I'm sitting here looking for some long-term option plays, and I keep hearing you call out members who are killing it. That makes me smile. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely. There's nothing better, right? Nothing better. Nothing better, Dan. Thank you for the super chat. And those November calls can cook, Dan. Cook. Cook. Yeah, absolutely. There really is nothing better. So that's amazing. Good job, everybody. Good job, good job, good job. Which calls are you looking for, Dan? Which long-term calls are you looking for? No, 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 no. Again, when you get a message in Discord, guys, from anybody, like when I say anybody, I mean anybody, right? If the person doesn't have the HTX tag, you know, you should probably consider it a scam. Alrighty, please. Alrighty, so yeah, because some of you guys are like, I got a message from Robert. Yeah. JC, wasn't you complaining yesterday that Discord membership isn't, when there's volatility, it's not worth it? Was that you, JC? Are you happy today? Right? So it's all about, like, you putting in the work and, making progress day after day. Um, I know people like spoon feeding, like, tell me when to buy, what to sell, when, where, what, um, meh, um, meh. Oh, no, 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 no. QM. Levels by Ross. Okay, there we go. Let's go, E. Let's go, let's go. Is it pumping? It's not really pumping, right? It's holding the same bottom we've been holding all day today for AQB, right? It wasn't you, JC? Oh, maybe it was another person named JC. Okay, 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 good. Good, good, good. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah, you have a different name in Discord. Okay. Yep, Sock Monkey. Yep. Rushmore. things might go to. Yeah, show us 550, 650, not 5, 6, 650. OPAD with a nice little pop there, right? That was actually quite a nice little pop, right? It's a nice little pop there into the supply zone. I think Andy probably took that one. Yeah, Andy most likely took that one. I knew it. I knew it. Good. Good, 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 good. I know you guys so well, you know. I know when someone's taking a scalp. So Andy, good job. Good jobs. Let's go. Luna, you're done for the day. NVIDIA, cash secured puts, Palantir, and Tesla. You're done for the day. You made your daily goal. Let's go. Well done. Well done. Well done, Luna. Yeah. Yeah, easy monies for you on those cash secured puts. Jericho, you see what you've done? See? Created criminals, Jericho. Criminals. And yeah, let's see if this thing SPY can actually break out this time, Virus. I really want to see a breakout and then just run for the rest of the day. That would be nice. You know? That would be nice. But no. But no. Of the trading day. No, 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 no. There we go. 530 OPAD. So again, the names we like so far, SOGP obviously, right? But that thing is stalling now at 10, 10, 15, 10, 20. And then OPAD is trying to break out here. So nice curl from the bottom. You just need to clear that supply zone. And then the S&P, SPY also needs to break out. So when boomskis, guys, when boomskis SPY. Do we get a Trump tweet? Come on, Trump, send it. Let me look at the daily really quickly here for SOGP because we really haven't looked at that yet. I wanted to see that thing really oof, oof. That's why. Waiting for the rest of the candles to load. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's more like every dollar there. Okay then. Well, so 10.20 and then $11 would be your next two levels to watch if we can break 10.20. If we can break out. And then OPAD, you can clearly see that we're sitting in that supply zone. INHD is really trying, but it's also really struggling with resistance. And then AQB is just annoying. That thing almost needs the market to close, so there's less resistance, so it can pump after hours. You know? Okay, we need a breakout. Let's go. Good scalp work. Good scalp. I like it. La, 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 la. The day we revived the channel. Yeah, let's go. That channel's had some turbulence. Virus was the Undertaker, and then you had Mark and Jericho, and all the other criminals. Laura, you know what's the Undertaker? You had Kane and the Triple H. What's the other dudes? I don't remember, but you guys can figure it out. Yeah. Here we go, Spy. Come on, give us more boomskis. Do, 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 do. Let's see, where's the there we go, 1050 SOGP. There we go. What the what? Yeah, exactly. Here we go. So we mentioned that 1020 and then $11, right? Those are your next two levels, right? So 1020 was that resistance from the daily, and then $11 was the next level. So we just exploded to 1090 and then halted up. Halt. Yep. So again, resistance at $11 there. Beautiful. Woof. Fast and could run between his opponent's legs. Spy is also pumping there. Let's go. That's what we want to see, Spy. That's what we want to see. Yeah, just like that. Now don't come back down. Just go to fight to 650. You know? Send it, send it, send it, send it. Okay, let's leave Spy alone so Spy can say, can't say it's shy, right? OPAD is still looking good too, though, right? OPAD is pushing into that supply zone, but still looking good. So, better, guys, better. SOGP. Uh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, so again, this one's halted up at 187%. 187. You did, Keegan? Well done. From now on, plus it's easy to remember, Carl. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Next put, 650. Yeah, send it. 988. Well done, Keegan. Look at that, Keegan. How long did it take you for us to convince you to come join us? How long, Keegan? Criminal. You got stopped out. Yeah, just not enough. And now, especially with other names starting to move, um, people might start looking away from that. 3252. Yeah, it would be nice, Kurt, if it hit that level. If it's not going boom skis, I don't want it. Exactly. I agree. I agree. Uh, Google is trading at all-time highs. Yeah, Google has been a beast. Beast. Sometimes you have to step away and pray. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you still have a double top at 540 though, right? So double top supply zone, a bit of a problem there. 660, Tony, next month into the Fed rate cut is what's going to happen. Into the Fed rate cut again. AQB, guys, we've this one's been asked about so many times, right? So as long as it stays above $1.30, it's hopeful. It needs to break out, though. My goodness, right? So we don't mind this. It just needs to break out. That's all. It was 4th of July. We all missed it. Yeah. Yes, we did. Hopefully, it comes back again. Hopefully. Do, 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 do. JCSE. I think people are looking at that as a sympathy play, maybe. Anyways, here goes the on hold, guys. 11:11. Make a wish. Make a wish. So again, if we look at the daily, that $11 area is a bit of a problem, so it's going to need to close above. But it's definitely looking strong. Strong. Here comes 11:20. Nick, make sure you are moving that stop loss up, though, right? 11:50, guys. 11:65. Oof. There you go. Cooking. Beautiful, beautiful. 11:44. Love it. You sold at 11:50? Come on, Nicholas. Give me a high five. Yeah. Good. Love it. There goes 11:80, obviously. That thing is beautiful. So, I mean, if you look at that daily, we said every dollar, right? So it was 10.20, it was $11, then it was $12. So I don't know how we will just push to $12, but that's a pretty nice pop because we pushed it to 11.90, right? Yeah. Yeah. Do 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 do. Do, do, do. So we're doing that every day? No. So the all-time high for SPY is 58.42, which we hit today, right? So we made a brand new all-time high for the S&P. I mean, we might as well hit it every day. Every day till we get to September, and then yeah. I'm hoping it plays out like that, right? Run into September, and then the Fed cuts rates or they don't cut rate. Either way, we dip ski, right? Into October, like a nice solid dip ski, and then boom skis into Santa time. You know? Yeah, AQB just too many games. Like look at that, right? A little bit of a pop back down. So the red at the top is acting too resistancy. Too much resistance up there. Do, 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 do. Beautiful. It was slow to start the day, wasn't it? But there've been some nice scalpies. Um, I'm gonna hop off in like 10 to 15 minutes, guys, because I do have some one-on-ones to do. Alrighty. So if you're not a member yet and you want to join us in Discord, smash a like if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe if you're new. And again, if you want to join us in Discord, click the link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbot. and sign up for the Legend or above membership and come join us. Alrighty. So if you're not a member, come join us. Cool. Cool. Let's go. Yeah, Ryan, 2 months. 2 months of awesomeness. You had to. So you saw Google doing nice things and you're like, dang it, the virus. Ah. Yeah, AQB is looking sus now, right? It's breaking down. So that's not exactly a good thing. Not exactly as good thing. So it looks like people are looking at JCSE as a sympathy play. That thing needs to break out though. People are looking at this as a sympathy play to, yeah. Yeah, that thing's gonna need to break out though. So $1.27. There we go. IT, what's your position for THAR? What's your position there? Let me know. Virus, yeah, exactly. Let's see. So the float for this thing is that float accurate? Hmm. Uh, okay. Just looking for possibly entry. THAR. Why are you looking at THAR though? Of all the names, IT doesn't look great, right? That's what I'm saying. Of all the names that like are we're playing with, why that one? I mean, it doesn't look horrible. Like it actually doesn't look horrible. It looks like it's trying to consolidate here at 580, right? Doesn't look horrible. Um, so yeah, it looks like it's trying to hold between 580 and 570. So if you can look for that range and put a tight stop loss, you might just be okay. And then OPAD is still fighting with that supply zone there, fighting. OPAD's like, can I go, guys? Can I go? Can I go? Kel, you're still in your position for OPAD, right? I think you are. Fighting. Yeah, this one has a sus spread. Not a whole lot of volume yet. Not a whole lot of volumes yet. Yeah. Yeah, you're just sitting at resistance, Kel. That's the downside, right? So as soon as you get close to 540 to 545, people start selling it. So it's going to need to break above out of that range if it wants to cook. If it wants to cook, it's going to need to break out. Yeah, so slow start to the day, but then things really picked up, and it looks like we're good going into the rest of the day, right? So lots of options here for potential boom skis. Options. It looks like CHAR really curled up that bottom level there. IT, right? So not too bad at all. That's the 5 minute time frame, by the way. So nice little consolidation at the bottom. Yeah, at some point, something will shift to something else. Especially if OPAD can break out, the money will switch. Right? Like OPAD is really trying really hard, really, really hard, really, really hard. Here we go. 5:33. Do 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 do. There we go, OPAD. You can tell it wants to. Like the volume is switching over to this one, right? Do, do, do. Here we go. 540, 545. 3, 2, 1. Boom skis. Boom skis. Where's that boom ski candle? 52-week high again is $5.46. So you need a nice little pop candle above that. And Kel is gonna start thrusting in the chat. THR has done a good job coming up the bottom. Really good job coming up that bottom there, IT. So if you wanted to look for a position, that would have been nice. Okay, back to OPAD, guys, because we think OPAD is the one that's the money's switching to, right? If the candles can start closing above to the upside, that'd be nice. Type yes in the chat if you're an OPAD. I know Kel is in this one, but come on, OPAD. There you go. There you go. Andy, I knew it. Criminal. I knew it. Stay green though, Andy. Stay green. Stay green. Yeah, stay green. So it would be nice if those candles can really consolidate above the 45. But this is a nice pop, right? 56. That is a very nice pop, guys. 58, guys. Very nice little push there. Good job, Andy. Yeah, good job. Good job, everybody. Good jobs. Very, very nice. Okay, can we make brand new highs now? Brand new highs. That'd be nice. Just move that stop loss up, right? The usual. There we go. Five. Yeah, so maybe a retest of the. It'll be interesting to see if the retest is 545 or 530. You know, it'll be interesting to see. And SPY, we need brand new high SPY. Come on now, do better. Yeah, this was a really nice curl on it, especially if you look at like the 1 minute time frame. This is nice. The THAR, right? You can see that consolidation at the bottom and then boom skis. So looking for the VWAP there for resistance. Right? Back to OPAD. OPAD is looking nice. Very nice. That thing looks like it wants to break above 560. There's a little bit of an SD band sitting there, but don't think it's that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. There goes 563. Beautiful. Just move those stop losses up. Andy's going to be going to another rave with these monies. Another rave, Andy. Come on now. There we go. 565. This is beautiful money rotation, isn't it? Dan, look at this beautiful monies. 568 at the top, 567 at the new 52-week highs. So as soon as this one started to die, the money started to rotate, right? SUGP and OPAD, the friends, they rotate the monies. Let's go. Move that stop loss, Andy, or scale out on the way up, obviously, right? But at this point, nobody should be going red on this play, right? No one should be going red. Here comes brand new 52-week highs, guys. 568 new highs. 568 brand new highs. 569. Virus's favorite number. 578. Ooh wee. Boom skis. Boom skis. 580. Boom skis. 583. 584. 587. 588. Give us $6. I'm kidding. Again, move those stop losses up or take gains on the way up. Alrighty. That was beautiful. That breakout was nice. 545 breakout. Nice. You guys see why we like breakouts? Yeah. This was a beautiful breakout. Right? And yeah. Good. Oh, did anybody take some gains? Anybody scale out? Or everybody won $6? Because it's fun to FOMO. Yeah, see, everybody likes it, Like everybody does. There we go. 590. Where's that $6? Your first take profit, Lonel? Good job. Yeah, good job. Well done. You took gains at 577. Andy, give me a high five. Right? Gains are gains. Gains are gains. Gains are gains. Good jobs. Love it. Love it, love it. It doesn't look like it's quite done yet, though, does it? That's okay, though. There's nothing wrong with the monies. Nothing wrong with the monies. Okay, 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. That's it. 5 more minutes, and then we're going to go back to Discord. Ready? 5 more minutes. So, again, if you're not a member yet, click the join link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbot. And come join us in Discord. Alrighty? My thing is glitching. Sending the words instead. Anyways, yeah, so if you're not a member, click that link at the bottom of the chat from Nightbot. Come join us. And then we will hop off in 5 minutes and go back to Discord. Go back to the Discord. Well done, work. Yeah, you played the breakout there, right? 545 breakout, exit at 580. Beautiful. 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 It's sticky, 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 sticky. You signed up for the wrong level, sticky. Alrighty. So again, when you click the link, sign up for the level that says Legend, Legend Pro, or the Goat level. Alrighty. Not the sold out level, please. So just go back to the same link and upgrade, please. Go back to the same link and upgrade, please. There we go. Yeah. OPAD is like, come on, what if I want more? What if I want more? SOGP is coming back a little bit off the 50 though, so maybe that's what's taking away some of the volume there at the top. Yeah, so it's sticky. Make sure you go back to the same link and upgrade to the legend level if you want to join us in Discord. Also, let me know if you have any last questions, guys. Alrighty. Let me know if you have any last questions until the class. Look at that work, right? Like, look at that, right? I was scared of buying breakouts until Friday the class, but I really like them now. You guys see why, right? I get work said, you know what? I want to upgrade to the Legend Pro and get this class, right? Get some information, and the information is paid him more than the membership, right? So I was scared of playing breakouts until the class on Friday. Now I enjoy playing them, right? So again, the class was recorded and posted in on YouTube's in the members only section. But you have to be a Legend Pro member. So if you want to know how to play breakouts, if you want to know how to play the breakouts, like work, right? Upgrade to Legend Pro, right? You invest in yourself, you get more, right? Simple. You invest in yourself, you get more. Pretty simple. So work, give me a high five. Congratulations. Sticky, welcome to the community. This is your invite link at the bottom of the chat about stocks and everything. Do you go over where to get the news and everything, Sticky? Yes. All of that information goes to Stock General when you join. So this is your link at the bottom of the chat. Click that invite link, Sticky. Follow the steps in the Getting Started channel. Once you follow the steps, or if you're not sure, watch the last video in the Getting Started. It's gonna walk you through all the channels in Discord, like everything. Alrighty, so click that link and follow the steps. Welcome. Does that count? No, it doesn't, Dan. It doesn't. Looks like more like 590 resistance than anything else for OPAD, huh? When breakout? When breakout? Is Shima's at the beach counting the monies, just like Dan. Counting monies. Yeah. We need more, Dan. We need more. We need more. We need more. And this happened. Well, the money came over to OPAD, right? And then a SOGP after cooking. Why are you watching Champions League, Bilal? When the markets are open. When we're here, why do you leave? You don't leave while we're here. Okay, OPAD, come on. Give us the boom skis. And again, breakouts that are double tops are better than breakouts that are like random levels, right? Like this breakout is easier for people that are already in a position, whereas this breakout at the bottom is easier if you're looking for an entry, right? So it depends. So here we go. So again, this is easier if you're in a position because that looks easy, doesn't it? Right? So because it as much as we're stalling, it's not really giving you like warning signs, right? You know how sometimes when you're stalling, you can see the red candles showing up. This one's a bit easier. There goes $6. $6 for the OPAD. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. 605. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Isn't that beautiful? So beautiful. And then watch a movie. Does that make me lazy? It does not. Why? Because you hit the daily goal, Dan. That's discipline. Daily goal, relaxing, right? Health, discipline in the market, discipline with health, and yeah. So that is not lazy. OPAD is cooking there. Cooking. That's another nice little breakout, right? Again, easier if you're in a position, right? Wonderful, Alyssa. Yeah. Type yes in the chat if you're still in OPAD. There goes 620, guys. There you go, $6.20. No, that's okay, Dan. That's okay. That's okay. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, so 620 next little resistance there, right? So when you play these breakouts, especially ones like these ones, you want to be in and out quickly, right? Because not every breakout is the same, right? Like a break above a double top, triple top, like one that you've really struggled at, like when you really struggle at a level, that breakout is nice, right? But when you have other breakouts that are just, there, then you want to play really carefully because those breakouts can be dangerous. Dangerous. 5 minutes. I know, right? 15 minutes ago, JC. I know, right? I know. I know. I know. You want that candle just exploded to 630, guys. Look at that candle. 630 on that candle. Yep. That's a dangerous candle. You need profits? Well, yeah. We all need profits. Kel, give me a high five. Well done. Good job. Good job. 460 to $6.24. Well done, Kel. Look at that. That is criminal behavior. Now that Kel is out, be very careful. Because Kel was whispering nice things to the stock. Now that she's out, you want to be very careful. Anyways, let me know if you have any last questions, guys. We do have to hop off them. Yeah. Carl, maybe it's a gamble, but you have to put a tight stop loss. If you think it's at support, it might be worth it. You just have to put a tight stop loss right below. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Well done. Good job. Alrighty, let me know if you have any last questions, guys. And then we're gonna hop off and continue on Discord. So how do you join the Discord? So if you get the Legend membership, I will send you a link at the bottom of the chat to join us in Discord. Or if you sign up later, do I have to be live? No, I do not. If you sign up later, make sure you sign up for the right level, okay? So Legend Pro, Goats. The link to join us in Discord is going to be in the community section on YouTube. If you still can't find the link, just send me an email, hottradesx@gmail.com. Alrighty, that's the email at the top and also in the description. No, we were here the whole time. OPAD was cooking. How could we leave, Tony? How could we leave when it was breaking out? Yeah, so you can sign up when the stream is done, right? You can just click on the join button on YouTube, like the join the channel on YouTube. If you search Hot Trades, click on join, or click this link right there, right? Just sign up for the right level, and then the Discord link is going to be in the community, or send me an email. Or just make sure you sign up for the right level. Alrighty, 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 all. We're gonna leave it for the day. We will leave it here for the day. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Be safe. Virus, pump the markets, please. I want to see 650. 650, please. Alrighty. No suspicious behavior, please. And Dan, get some rest. Enjoy the movie. Enjoy a nap. And we will chat later. Thank you, Jericho. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And the OPAD still looks good, right? OPAD is basically retesting that last little breakout and then back above 6. So this still looks good, right? We're gonna continue watching in Discord. $18, yes. Stay green, not greedy. Green and not greedy. So those two levels, they're going to be important for OPAD, right? So too late for what? Alrighty, y'all. Again, be safe. Much love. Thank you all very much for the support as usual. I appreciate that. Smash a like before you go if you haven't already. Alrighty. Yeah. Bye, guys. Bye, y'all.